Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Colbert new legendary tier French cruiser. I would recommend Lemon. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. Here's the armor scheme. You got 32 millimeter plating, but take a look at this. Half the ship is a citadel. All right, this is like the Minotaur. If you get shot once, you're probably going to die. You might get lucky and take 2 shots, but you will, as soon as someone gets a line of sight on you, you will die. That's automatic. The difference is you don't have a smoke here. So I'm going to take my role as a community contributor a little bit more seriously this time and try and give you accurate advice as to whether or not you should pursue the Colbert. Answer me this. Do you play in a division or do you play as a solo player? If you play in a division and if you can get a teammate that will play Destroyer, not kill themselves in the first 30 seconds of the game, and will actually spot for you, then you will love the Colbert. Okay, you'll be hosing people down. It's the ultimate golden shower machine. It's basically an Atlanta at legendary tier, and you can put up huge numbers. All right, I guarantee you, if they ever put EOP on the French cruiser build, it'll be insane. But right now, I would recommend Lemon because you can get 2% fire chance boost in slot 1 and 3% in slot 2, because that's how you're going to be getting a lot of the damage here. Conversely, if you're an idiot like me and you try and play this as a solo player, you will absolutely hate your life. Like, this is the least compelling video game experience I've ever had playing this thing. I've probably played 20 games of this. Highest damage was the first game I played when I was running it as a run and gun. I'm not showing you that game. It was like just shy of 200,000. I'm not going to show you that game yet because it was like one of the biggest throws of basically my career at this thing. We were up 500 points, and then I was trying to get over 200 damage and threw the game at the buzzer. So maybe I'll show it as a cautionary tale, just how to not throw the game at the end of the game. But this, I'm just showing you, this is how your experience is going to be as a solo player. Okay, now look at the Destroyer. Yeah, he didn't pick up the controller for the first minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is. That's common. You know, why would your Destroyer be ready to go? He said he was ready. He clicked the ready button, but of course he's not ready. And now he's going to go into the least, useful spot he can possibly be. We already got a dude on B, right? We got a cruiser there. Destroyer goes right behind him, and he's going to sit there for 4 minutes. How many ships is he going to spot? 0. How many caps is he going to get? 0. In fact, he's going to concede our home cap C, and then at that point, I'm like, okay, we've already lost the game. I guess I'll get flushed and go try and make a play. And this is exactly the Colbert experience. You cannot carry at all in this thing because you cannot get shot, all right? It's like the exact opposite of the Alaska. Alaska, I can go toe-to-toe with any ship in the game and feel comfortable doing it. And you can beat the snot out of basically anything. This is the complete opposite, all right? If anyone looks at you, you blow up. If you get spotted, you're in trouble. I mean, you cannot get spotted in this thing. But if your Destroyer kills himself right off the bat or he refuses to spot, you're going to have a hell of a hard time. So that's my recommendation. All right, if you typically play the game solo, don't bother getting the Colbert. When it gets in the bureau, if it does, I'll turn it on if there's nothing else to research. But once I get it, I'll probably play it 1 or 2 games and then remember that I hate the living guts out of this thing. Like, it is my least favorite thing I've ever done playing this ship. No cap, as the kids would say. No, not kidding around. Anyway, so what are we doing here? We're just spraying this guy down, hosing him down. They got a Colbert on A that can't be dislodged. Me and some of the teammates did some damage to it, but now he's like up against that gator mouth or whatever it is, and he just can't be shot. There he is. He's got 1 health left, but he'll get the cap because nobody else will go near it, myself included. There's no way I'm going to go over there. But like a battleship who could easily tank the shot and stop the capture, why would he do that? Now he's got to park way back, get at least 5 squares from the nearest enemy. And then the Destroyer, look at him on the map. He hasn't moved. What have you been doing for 4 minutes? Like, how bored would you possibly be doing this shit? I don't understand this at all. So, you know, I'm getting frustrated. We're losing the home cap now. We got A is about to go. We're losing our only income on C. Down 3 caps, and then the middle cap is... It's always a stalemate in this map. All you need is 1 ship to sit on it and hopefully get some shots. You don't need 3 or 4 ships to sit on it. That's completely wasting everyone's time. So just don't do that. So at this point in time, now that the guy on C is spotting me every time I shoot, I got to get moving or else just stop shooting. I could put the controller down like the rest of my teammates if I wanted to, but I'm not really in the mood to do that at this point in time, so we'll ping C. We got 3 battleships or cruisers, whatever those are, surrounding it. They could easily rush the Shimakaze. Maybe one of them would die, but the other one would kill them, killing their only destroyer, and then we'd have a huge advantage, even though our destroyer is basically dead as far as I'm concerned as well. At least we'd be on even terms at that point in time. No destroyers capable of capping, rather than one that can run rush out over the team. So we might as well pop the speed boost and go over there. Yeah, if we get shot once, the game will be over, of course, for us, but that'll be sweet, sweet mercy. We won't be forced to play this game anymore. You know, it's just a waste of time playing this game, this particular match. But Legendary Tier in general is a waste of everyone's time. I think we can all agree on that. How can we actually fix this? Now, I think it was Kevin, but it was one of my channel members on stream the other day, came up with a brilliant idea. Commander perks that incentivize good play. Okay, so what about this? Like, if you got destroyer perks like, okay, if you're actively spotting an enemy, torpedo damage goes up 10%, 20%. Make it something crazy, you know? And then they'd be like, spotting? I have no idea what that is. And then they might actually look it up, or if they actually knew what spotting was, then they would actually do it, right? Like this dude, rather than launching torps that miss every 2 minutes just sitting there, might be like, wow, I can get 20% more damage if I spot someone at the meantime. Maybe I'll go do that. Destroyer perk. For the 3 minutes after capturing a base, your torpedo damage goes up 50%. Or your whatever, you know. Torpedo speed goes up 5 knots. Make it something crazy. And you'd be like, wow, that's going to be super powered. It'll get the guys on the cap, right? They'll at least try and capture the bases. They won't sit there goofing off the entire game. So I think that's a stroke of genius. Incentivizing like good play through buffing the ships. Yeah, they'll still kill themselves trying to torp, but at least they'll like try and buff their ship by doing something proper in the meantime. Here's another one on shards. It's a tough map. We got to be playing tight to the island cover. Once again, destroyer. What does he do? He's just going to park behind the island. Maybe he'll get on the cap briefly, but he's not really going to be doing much. And this will be me just trying to get some shots for a few minutes, and then concluding, okay, we've already conceded this game. I might as well just try and make a play before I get out of this game by killing myself. Okay, this is extremely aggravating. Like, I will not ever play this ship again. It just sucks. It really sucks. I mean, the ship itself is amazing, but the legendary tier gameplay situation is absolute garbage. Other ways to fix it. We need to somehow figure out how to break up black holes. Legendary tier is notorious for black holes. Everyone's terrified they clump up together. I think they should just reprogram will to rebuild, where if you're within, you know, 2-3 kilometers of your team, you actually lose health. What do you think of that idea, Myron? You know, but the problem with legendary tier, like, everyone's okay, I'm terrified, let's clump up together and just pee our pants and huddle up and sob, you know. Not the way to play the game. Not compelling at all. We're trying to hit the Wichita here. Now look at the time to target. These are going to be typical values, 15 seconds down range. And it's not an easy thing to hit this thing. I think I got Kuznetsov, or whatever his name is, the range booster guy on this build, which is fine, you know, because you really can't be moving around a lot. So you might as well have as many ships within your grasp as possible. But at the same time, you know, 15, 16 seconds, you have to predict where is this thing going to be a quarter of a minute in the future, and that's not always easy to do. So it can be definitely difficult. What's going on in this game? We're conceding A, our destroyer, rather than play B. I mean, there's a Minotaur on there, so I can't really blame him there, but he's just kind of conceding that, and he's going to go rush into whatever's in A and kill himself. And then C, we got multiple ships that one of them could get on the cap, right? We don't want to be down 2 caps to 0. You might as well try and make it 2 caps to 1. That's not going to work. So, you know, once we determine that this game is already a loss, and it's probably right about now, then we're just going to be like, okay, well, can I go kill the Minotaur and presumably the destroyer. Because we got 3 ships accounted for in the north, 3 in the south. We can just safely assume that the destroyer is probably in the vicinity of B. Maybe I can kill the Minotaur. Maybe we'll get the what ends up being a Shimakaze at the same time, and that's exactly what we'll try and do here. And again, this is mostly just putting ourselves out of the misery, because this game is unwinnable. Okay, if you can't determine just by looking at this situation, this game's basically unwinnable. Legendary tier, you're not ready for it. All right, keep grinding away at the lower tiers. There's nothing wrong with that. This game's complicated. It's not easy to play, but unfortunately, the highest level of difficulty is occupied by like the worst players in the game. So it doesn't make much sense, does it? We're moving into a Wusta, Minotaur, and the destroyer. Plus we got crossfire threats from the north. That's of course you cannot survive this. It's physically impossible. But again, surviving this is not the intention. We want to get out of this game as quickly as possible. Minotaur is also of the same mind, so he gives us broadside, and that's how quickly you can kill someone with APM. And not that every ship in the game can't kill the Minotaur in 2 seconds, but you know, technically, if you ever get into a close quarter gunfight, same thing. And if I didn't have this the Woo stop bombing on me, we'd just show the full broadside and kill the Shima in 1 salvo. But of course, we're trying to protect ourselves a little bit. So that's the experience. I hope you hope you have fun with this one.